On a day we honor those who gave everything to protect our peace and freedom. Welcome on this Remembrance Day to the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee, Jake the Snake Schultz, Derek Brandale. Leaf Hour edition of our program. We are live on Sportsnet 360, Sportsnet 590, The Fan in Toronto, and streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. If you don't catch us live, there's always Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube as well. The Toronto Maple Leafs game day as they take on the Boston Bruins at the TD Garden. Billy Jaffe, who had the pleasure of working a few times on Sportsnet over the last few years, analyst now for NESN, NHL Network. He'll join us in about half an hour to give us our inside look into the Boston Bruins on a place in the standings today that we didn't really anticipate, albeit still fairly early, but the Bruins don't suck as much as we thought they would.
Compared to the Leafs, they're doing pretty good.
Which brings us to your Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
A phrase or statement of must win often gets played out a little bit too much these days.
Mm-hmm.
So what would be underneath must win
Can't
in your
lose.
opinion? Can't lose.
Really need to win.
How about it would be nice?
It would be really nice.
It would be really nice if the Leafs could go into a place that has not been kind to them over the years.
Prefer to win tonight.
And provide a solid 60-minute effort.
Yes.
60, and to win.
60's ambitious, but I'll take a higher number than 22 or whatever we've been getting lately. I think this is great that they're playing the Bruins again. I think you just had a look at them in your building. There should be some embarrassment or disappointment about the way it went the first time. I also love that they're playing hockey again because, boy, did they leave a bad taste in everyone's mouth over the weekend. So another chance to get it right today.
Okay, I won't say it's a must-win, but how important is this game for this hockey club at this point of the season?
I think it's a big game. I do. I don't know what you guys, in terms of the tone of people talking to you about this team is, but, I'm getting some windows closed DMs. I'm getting some rebuild the team DMs. I'm getting this team's closer to a rebuild than they are to a contender mentions on X and on Instagram and on social media where everybody can access me. I think there's a lot of doubt that this team's going to turn it around.
Mm-hmm.
I really do think that people are starting to believe that this is what they are, and a nice win tonight in Boston can kind of stave off the Wolves for a little bit here to, get some people off their backs, but it feels like a big game.
Yeah. It's funny because I'm doing the Oilers game tomorrow night, so paying a little bit of attention to them last night, and that was last night for the Edmonton Oilers was kind of like must win, people were saying, and they had their captain and their superstar grab that game and say, we're not losing. They got lucky, but they got a big night out of Connor McDavid last night.
I ended up going to the Hall of Fame. Congratulations to all the inductees. Didn't get a chance to watch it. But
hold on, did Gary call Jumbo Dumbo by accident?
Yes, he did. And people are having a lot of fun with it on the internet, social media.
Anyway, sorry. I just wanted to make sure I saw that right.
Yeah. But not to say that I watched the whole game completely, but you can watch enough of the highlights and then parts of it as well to understand that there's nothing really convincing about the Stanley Cup finalists needing a lucky bounce to pull off a regulation point and then another one in overtime. So would you even take that for the Leafs tonight, that they could look like they're doing whatever they can to just muster something, salvage something?
I think you're trying to sort out your problems, and the more you win, the more time you have to solve those problems, right? Before it goes right off the rails. So, yeah, I mean, I would take it. It would be less than preferred. Obviously, you'd like to see a more complete effort, but it's funny with the rebuild talk that Sammy's bringing up. I've had people say that to me too.
Getting it a ton.
But you look around the league and you're always a couple guys away from completely changing the energy. And, we've seen it in different places around the NHL. But also, it's the first time where you have people going,
Yeah.
The numbers aren't as good. Like, what if you just sold off these 3 or 4 pieces at the deadline, added picks, and the next year used them? And you're going, yeah, maybe they would be better if they did that. But I'm just saying, like, we need to see that there's something other than what they've shown so far.
You mentioned like how it happens and what it looks like in the Oilers or whatever, but I do think we're getting to the point of the year where style points, they matter because it's over a long season and you want them to look good for long stretches, but they need to accumulate points here. Like by points percentage right now, there's three teams between them and the final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. Like we're getting close to American Thanksgiving here. It isn't a tiny sample size anymore.
Right. Their next 3 games are Boston, LA on Thursday. We'll be doing that game for Sportsnet, Justin and I, and then Saturday night against Chicago. And you have to put way more stock and value against a team like Boston in your own division. It's the difference of 4 points between Toronto and Boston. And albeit, again, it's still early and it's a very small distance, right? In the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
But to Sam's point, you don't want to let this get away here. Even if they were to lose against Boston and then beat LA and Chicago, the Boston loss tonight potentially would sting way more.
Yeah.
Way more.
Well, and look around their division. They haven't played Florida or Tampa, I don't think, once.
Nope.
But they have played Detroit twice. Remember what happened?
Lost both.
Both. They played Buffalo twice.
Lost
they
one.
They got 1 point out of that and gave Buffalo 3.
Did they lose the second one in overtime?
Yeah.
And they beat Montreal opening night in their division, where a lot of people said they didn't outplay Montreal, and Montreal deserved to win.
Right. So, the divisional games, you can't lose back-to-back. You lost to Boston. Like, you got to start beating some teams in your division at some point if you want to be not just at the top of the division, but in the playoffs. So, yeah, the must-win thing's interesting. There's a lot of eyeballs on this hockey game.
A lot of talk yesterday, including on our show yesterday on Craig Berube and what he needs to do to maybe get going or get the team going. Let's get his thoughts on how he resets the group tonight at the TD Garden in Boston.
Yeah, we got together we got in yesterday and had a good team meeting in Boston here. So, just look at some film and talk, try to, get it going in the right direction here again.
What do you stress at a time like this, especially on the defensive side? Like, what are the key themes for you?
Okay, good meeting.
Sorry, I forgot to cut that part of that off. I will say that outwardly to the media, it really doesn't. He does a good job of not seeming desperate at all.
Okay,
like
until he's actually behind the bench.
That's what I mean. It's two very different messages where nothing seems to be urgent when he's talking to the media or talking to, I guess, the fans through the media, and then when he gets behind the bench, he's red-faced ranting and raving.
Can I tell you that though? Like, it's got to stop.
What, the behind the bench stuff?
Yes, it's enough. He's got to show way more composure, and it's okay a little bit, but it's getting now to the point where you got to find a different way to reach them other than that way. It's the players need something of guidance, and just screaming and hollering and the red face, Sammy, what you just mentioned, you got to go beyond that now.
What's really hard is when your team is playing really bad. Like winning buys you time, I just said earlier in the show. And I think when you're winning, you can go, I'm not going to comment on every single thing we do wrong on the bench. Some of it we'll address in the meeting tomorrow. Some of it we'll just see if they sort it out. When you're losing, though, and it's these dumb, boneheaded, out of position, cheating stuff, every time they come back to the bench, it has to be hard not to be like, hey, we've talked about this. You're a pro. It has to be really hard, Kip, to bite your tongue.
But all the
they
coaches,
don't seem to know.
the coaches know how many cameras they are. They know where the cameras are. And if he's showing that on the bench, just times it by 10 in the dressing room. So you got to make sure that the players just don't get tired of it or tune it out, because it's just coming at them way too often. And I don't know per se what goes on behind the scenes, but I can only imagine as an ex-player. But they need something much more deeper than just guys try harder.
Yeah, totally agree with that. But I don't know.
Could you expect a different look, a different looking breakout? Do you expect to see the guys? Like, to me, that would be a sign of we're trying something more than just trying to browbeat these guys into a win.
I mean, you want to expect something different and run out the exact same decor as the weekend. Like, you're not going to get anything different.
What do you think of that?
There's an old saying about, the definition of insanity. There's.
Where would you like him to go then?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if you want it to be different, I don't think it's going to be different.
I think the case that I've heard made is, like, how do you go back to Philip Myers, who really was not he was terrible.
Well, it doesn't look like an NHL defenseman right now.
So it's like, does Dakota Mermis make a difference? Probably not, right? Does he make them 1% worse or better? Maybe it doesn't matter. But I think the point is just, you want to show the guys that play bad and you don't play. Maybe this would have been the time.
We do have a clip on that.
Oh.
Clip number 7, please, Derek, from Berube today.
I talked to Brad about, call-ups and things like that. It's like, we're at where we're at right now, and we have Mermis here on defense. But putting Mermis in there, to me, we don't have a righty lefty on the 3 pairs as it is, and that's going to make it even worse. You're putting somebody on the right side that's, we got McCabe there now, which is new for him. He played the left side the whole last year. And OEL's played the right at times, left at times, but I think it creates a little bit of a problem.
I mean, McCabe played the right side the whole year before that, so he has done it. And OEL played the right side for a whole season too, so they can do it.
He might as well just come out and say, we don't have the depth.
That was essentially what he did there. He's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I talked to Brad. Like,
There's no help.
Yeah.
There's no help down there.
And, there is something to showing a guy like Philippe Myers, like, hey, we trust that you're our best bet to figure this out. Here's another opportunity. Go ahead and seize it, or you'll be seizing AHL money soon.
So I saw this today on X from @McMaz on Twitter. And this is from Brad Treliving on May 29th. So that would have been right after they went out of the playoffs, right? Around that time.
Mm-hmm.
I like the length of our defense. I like the makeup of our defense, but you still have to get up and down the ice. Part of how we play lends itself to giving up some volume. We need to get more offense from our defense, not just goals. We can get more volume the other way. In terms of personnel, we'll see. I like the decor, but we can't be rigid. We fell short. We have to continue to look at ways so we can get better. So,
over to that.
Yeah. I do watch this team and watch this decor, and I watch other teams that have, puck-moving defensemen that snap it up and are young and are flying around. Kipper's been on this for however many years. They just don't really break the puck out.
Well, at the same time, I don't think Kyper loved when we had Timothy Liljegren on the third pair, or even Rasmus Sandin,
who's a pretty good player.
Doing pretty good.
He's playing pretty well. Playing pretty well.
So it's tough to find, right? I mean,
it's tough to find.
This.
But it's just interesting to read that quote today where he understood some of the flaws with the team in terms of the defense and not getting any offense and not being able to move the puck up and down the ice, and then running back the exact same decor and expecting different results with it.
It's funny. There's almost like this thing with, all right, we have to prove that our D can score more. And Morgan Riley, what's he have, 10 points already in 16 games? And OEL's up there too. I mean, we can look up that exactly. But, they're getting that a little bit more production, but it's come at the cost of.
Coming at a cost.
13 points in 15 games for Riley.
13 and 15, and I think 10 for OEL.
-4 for.
They're not separate. There's not, it's not football where you just focus on defense with your defense.
Yeah.
And then the offense, it's all about just points.
Yeah.
You drive solid offense through being defensively sound first for me. It has to start in your own zone, and then you go on. It's not like, hoping and praying that you get a lucky bounce. Or I've had an issue with the team for a few years, and Willie would be the biggest at the top of my list, where it's just you cheat for offense, right? And he's good at it, and he manages to get his points. But, in the long run, over the course of 82 games, over the course of trying to win 4 rounds in the Stanley Cup playoffs, when every team's buttoned down, can you still win that way?
You could have one guy like
Right.
that on a team that's full of really good players.
But yes, but you have to. Your room has to be strong enough, and your lineup has to be strong enough where everybody kind of knows their spot. And I can't cheat like Willie, right? And I know that, and I accept that. But I don't think that's what's going on here. I don't. I think there's portions of teams that I've seen over the last few years where it's like, I just got to get my points. I got to get my cookies. And it's tough. It's tough when it's not a good balance. It's tough when it's not in sync with 20 guys, 22 guys, if you're plugging guys in and out and they know their roles completely. And right now, I think guys are coming in still and thinking, I got to get my offense, whether it's Nick Waugh or Dakota. We've pumped them up. Everybody's sitting there going, yeah, they can score 20. Oh, yeah, they can get 20 this year. And now you're 1 goal in 12 games or 2 in 14. You're like, you're doing the math, and it's like, I got to get going. I got to get my offense going. It's like, no, you got to get the puck out of your own zone.
But what you just said there leans more into why William Nylander is cheating for offense. It's like if Matthews, some, PTSD there. If Matthews, Nyes, Nylander, and Tavares aren't producing,
I know.
Nobody is. So, there's one thing to have William Nylander be more accountable defensively, which we've asked for 10 years and never happened. You want that. But at the same time, that takes away his greatest strength, which is offense, which without his offense, this team would be going nowhere, and it may be going nowhere anyway. But I just, when you have nothing from your bottom six.
There's a middle ground there, Sammy. It's not one or the other. There isn't. And I get it. He's so talented, and I want him to.
How do we end up talking about? We were talking about the decor.
No, we're talking about the offense is fine, but the defense is not. Yeah. And I'm like, well,
I'm not going to
ultimately maybe you got to cut back a little bit on the offense and the just try to win a game 2-1. I don't know. I mean, just try. That's the way it is usually in the playoffs, anyways.
Yeah. Aside from making this about Willie, which I don't agree with, I
it's
agree
not
with
Willie.
the general idea.
I'm just saying he's not the only one that cheats here.
I would say
Marcelli cheats. He's not making great decisions in his own zone because he's still thinking about offense.
I think that the players have to have a real trust that the coaches and management are seeing the process part if the results aren't there. Like if a player's playing really well and not getting points, is the staff still going, this guy deserves more, he's playing great, whatever? Or do they wait and they say, Nick Robertson has 4 points in 5 games, keep him on the top line because of the points? I think the players feel like they need the points to be taken seriously a little bit. And I agree with you that there's a lot of guys for whom it's a priority, and that's definitely something to be addressed.
Let's get Craig Brewery's thoughts on the defensive issues that he has to deal with right now.
Well, I think that defensively, we put ourselves in some tough spots with the turnovers. It's just really put stress on everybody with the turnovers. Our puck management wasn't very good the last 2 games, mostly the last game. But and then defensively for me, it's the turnovers for sure. But we can just be firmer and harder in our own zone and winning more of those battles. I mean, I thought Carolina came out with the puck too much. We had numbers in there and ended up they come out with the puck, and now we're extended in our zone a little bit more. And turnovers will cost us the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. The turnovers have been a big problem for them. Turnover scoring chances, they're getting killed. I don't think puck battles are a problem. By the numbers, they won the puck battle game last game. But
what?
Yeah, I didn't get a sense of that.
Yeah, I didn't see it either, but that's the number said.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, I'm actually dubious of the recording of puck.
I was just going to say,
to be honest.
I'm going to disagree with that one.
Yeah. However, The turnover thing seems very real and does check out.
I honest to God, I'd go into that room right now and I just tell them I don't care about the offense right now.
Yeah.
I just need.
Show me you can play
it's-
within the structure.
Listen,
and
the
you get to
game's
keep
changed
playing.
in so many ways, but the best defense is you between the puck and your own net.
And how easy is that to do?
Just please tell me.
So easy.
You can stand and be in the right place.
Right.
Okay, just stand.
Yeah.
Obviously, we want you moving, but let's start there.
Yeah.
And then once it gets out, then, Willie, go do
You
your
get to
thing.
go play when it goes that
go
way,
have
but
fun.
just
Go
make
knock
sure
your
we
socks
have
off.
it.
I'm Craig Berube. I've got 3,000 penalty minutes and like 7 career goals. I'm not telling you
Right.
how to score and not to score.
Right.
But please tell me in our own zone that we can sit there and say we're not leaving until the puck's out together.
Did we play how the forwards can help defensively? The fourth clip there?
Did we play it? I don't think so.
we did. Let's have a listen to that.
What can the forwards do to help the D defensively more than they have?
Don't turn pucks over.
Yeah.
I think, I think the forwards are, it's not just on the forwards or just on the D, it's on everybody. I mean, for me, the forwards getting caught in the offensive zone, 3 guys, and giving up odd man rushes is not good for our D or our goalies. That's one area that we can be better at for sure. We've been talking about it a lot of the year. We got to get back to where we're not giving up odd man rushes for sure. And for me in zone, it's just the same as the D. It's about killing plays, being firmer and harder, blocking shots, exiting when you get the puck back, not turning it over. So now we're extending our own zone. It's wall play for forwards.
Simple, direct, hard.
Yeah.
But like it's right,
I know.
It's like do those things and you'll be better. I don't know. The turnover thing is probably holds the most water. What they've talked about.
This is still like no one on that blue line left for $12 million as a free agent. So this was the same team that we watched on the blue line that were extremely hard in their own zone.
Yeah.
Blocking shots. And how hard was it to get a quality, high danger puck to the net last year?
Yeah.
And that was part of our narrative of it looks different.
Well, I think
so.
they're
You go from top 10 to worst in the league now. Why?
They're missing their best defenseman for 6.
No.
half the
Listen,
games.
it was an issue when Tanev was in the lineup early.
Sure.
It didn't look all that better. And I'm not taking away anything. And Tanev's great, and we know that, and he should come back when he's healthy and help. But collectively, it was right out of the gate, Sam. Not since Tanev's left.
Yeah, no. I'm
It's-
just saying that half the games that
Right.
they haven't had him. It's a
Yeah.
contributing factor.
He'll help. He'll help a bit. I was just trying to look this up while we were talking. In terms of ozone touches, the percentage of successful touches, the Leafs are 30th out of 32 teams. So lots of bad touches, failed touches.
Okay, that's enough defensively.
Yep.
Matthews and Nylander splitting up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've been talking quite a bit about Matthews lately. I don't know if you saw the thing I wrote yesterday, but it spurred some conversation for sure about where he's at physically. Not about injury, just physically not being the same powerhouse. So pretty good line he's got playing with Nyes and Robertson, but not going to give him Willie for a game. You like it?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Because they need something. This is what the coach is supposed to do. He's supposed to give them different looks. He's supposed to give them different strategies. Doing nothing isn't an answer for Craig Berube, so I have no problem him starting there.
Why don't we listen to Craig on splitting them up?
What can the forwards do to help the D defensively?
Clip 3.
Well, not a lot of difference. It just spread it out a little bit. I do like Willie with Matthews, but I think at the same time it's nice to have a little bit more threat on 2 lines. So that was the reasoning for tonight.
Yeah. We talked about this yesterday.
Yeah.
That you can have that top line together, but kind of thins you out throughout the rest of the team, and they saw enough of it, and they're trying something different.
Yeah, you're not going to get the matchups on the road, so you need to spread out your talent a little bit.
I think Robertson's got the engine going right now. He's got energy, and I hope he. God, you can't believe you're saying this, but I hope Robertson can get Matthews going.
I think it's in a fun part of the season where it's like there's no
what a sentence that is.
Yeah.
That's if there isn't a sentence that
damning with faint praise, is that the expression?
If there isn't a sentence that defines the 2025 Toronto Maple Leafs like the one he just said, then there isn't one.
I hope Nick Robertson can get Austin Matthews going.
You sure about that?
I think it is a fun time of year where it's like you don't know what Robertson his ceiling is or what he can be. Could he be a guy that you use later? I don't know. He's going pretty good right now, so he's going to play tonight on the top line. So we'll see. He's got to kind of continually prove himself, but earning his $1.8 million contract this year, which is cool.
Any updates on Tanev or Lawton?
Lawton, there was they gave an update and like a potential on retribution for the Zadorov
who's
thing.
going to do anything to Big Z?
You want to play the clip? We can hear it.
He's progressing nicely. I think might have skated today. I'm not sure, but I know that he wanted to get on the ice, so he's going in the right direction.
You guys weren't happy with the hit, obviously, by Zadorov?
Well, nobody would be happy with that. I mean, it's a tough hit, but it is what it is.
Do you expect like an emotional carryover? You're seeing him again pretty soon after the hit. Like, does that inject anything into this, or?
Yeah, it should inject some fire in you for sure, but we don't want to be stupid either. We got to play the game. We got to play it right. Yeah, opportunity arises. You get a good lick on a guy. You get a good lick on a guy.
Yeah, playing for
I thought Bobby did a great job. Answered the bell, did what he did. We got to move on and we got to play.
Send Bobby in again.
What if you did want to do something stupid? What would your options be? Like, what if you're like, yeah, we're mad about it. We're going to go get him.
Be great.
Send in Bobby again,
really
the toughest guy in the team. Send him in.
Would be really great.
Who would it be?
Go to Joshua.
I think Brandon Carlo. I don't know.
Carlo.
Yeah.
At least he's a large animal. Yeah,
No,
he acquitted himself well last year.
I think a guy like Dakota
gotta be
should
Dakota.
step up.
Yeah.
If he's done it before, which he has, go into Boston. And listen, it's not about retribution. It's not whether or not it was a clean hit or a dirty hit. This is what it is. Okay.
You heard our guy.
You're not gonna run around and get licks on guys. Yeah. Okay. I'm putting an end to that, or I'm stopping it, or you're gonna have to go through me first.
Or at least every time you do it, this is gonna happen.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
If he looks at our lineup and says no one's gonna touch me, then it gives him a credit card to go and catch somebody else with their head down again.
Yeah.
And I can't have that. So who is it gonna be? Now, McMahon, does he look and say, well, I did my job back then. It's not me tonight, because that's a horrible attitude and it's a horrible mistake on his part. If he wants to go to another level, no matter on and off the ice or what the fans perceive of you, go in there and challenge him again, Bobby.
I bet you $10,000 that doesn't happen.
No, it won't. And I wouldn't take that bet because you're right. But that's what it takes.
Yes. I know.
That's what it takes to be a team, to be close together, and to start progressing in the right direction. Is anybody willing to go and do that?
I would kill.
Knowing you're not going to win.
Okay.
I would kill for them to go in there and just do something so greasy tonight.
Would you settle?
There hasn't been a greasy thing.
Would you settle for a cross check to the teeth? Like someone just says, "We're not. I can't fight you, but we're going to grease it up out here."
There's been one greasy thing all year, and it was McCabe on tuck and then punch and tuck out. And
yeah,
that was,
I don't condone the cheap shot stuff, but I mean, if
I
you
do. I'd take a 2-game suspension.
All right, let me put Kip
on
in front of
Zadorov.
Me too.
I would take a 2-game suspension on Zadorov tonight. I would.
Get the flippers off. Just get some emotion.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I like the idea that the Leafs are at a critical point in their season, and it's. Are you going to come together? Are you going to find it? Do you care about one another? Are you going to put the group ahead of your own stuff?
Yeah, and I don't think it'll take a 2-game suspension. I don't think it's a cross check. It's just whatever the moment is called upon.
But
And you
just-
don't know. It's not prescripted.
Right.
You just got to feel it. And it's like
It doesn't have to be first 10 minutes.
it all depends on Zadorov. Are we up 1-0? Have we got momentum? Is he quiet? Is it read the room, guys?
Yeah.
Read the situation.
Who was it? Oh, God. Oh, yeah. I was having a great I think I was talking with Gaz, who was talking about Trent Frederick and, the way that the game before went where people were on him for not getting physical.
Yeah.
And he was saying that Frederick, after that, the game where he didn't fight, so this is pre-Columbus, he said that he's like, I got one goal. Who's going to fight a guy with one goal? No one's going to fight me. I've only scored one time. And Gaz is like, I led the league in fights with no goals. People will fight you. His point,
I didn't
though,
like
Kip,
Trent's comments there. It's just it's
Yeah.
it's helping you justify
Totally.
whatever's about to happen or what's happened. Don't go there.
So his point was that sometimes you have to make them fight you, make them mad at you. You create drama out there. You stir it up. You make them come to you with
Yeah.
the way you're playing the game.
Yeah.
And that's something that you'd like to see
And of course, he went and fought
Olivier,
who's
the toughest guy in the league.
toughest guy in the league. And
Landed one.
we've heard
he did.
from so many
Or a whole
people.
bunch.
We've heard so many people. Well, he's out of his league. He got beat up. It didn't do anything for the game. It's stupid. It's anything you want. And you could sit there from your couch eating your chips
Totally.
and justify anything you want in that situation, but you don't count and you don't matter. What matters is how Connor McDavid felt and everybody else in that lineup. And if it's just one part of you that says you're willing to do that for us, then that's enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
That a teammate can look at you and go, God almighty, like you
laid it on the line.
You laid it on the line. That guy catches you once, your career's over, you bust your jaw, and you're still willing to go out there and do that for us. Well, we better get going. If you're willing to do that, then we got to be willing to do more than what we're doing right now. And that's the effect that something could have for the Leafs tonight against a guy like Zadorov.
And
That's all.
I even think, Kip, though, it's not so much you're willing to do that for us, just so much that this isn't the guy that signed an 8-year contract and now he's just going to ride off into the sunset. He cares what everyone thinks and for his own respect. So, people look at him as someone who knows it's important to him that the team thinks he's trying and cares and involved, and he made an effort.
100%. And it's not the outcome. It's just the willingness. Yeah. It's not whether you won the fight or lost the fight. You're in the bottom of the pile. You're on the top of the pile. Has nothing to do with that. Yeah. It's just the emotional effect that something like that can happen on your hockey club, which has been missing from the Leafs for a long time.
It's funny, though.
We should go.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We should go. Yeah.
Okay, let's take a quick. Hold that thought.
Yes.
Yes.
Hold that thought. Billy Jaffe as well. Coming up after the break, we'll hear his thoughts on the Boston Bruins and their young star centerman named Fraser Minton. Do you remember that name?
Yeah, let's go.
More when we return to Real Kyper and Bourne.
Oh, this is uncomfortable.
Welcome back to the program. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. Billy Jaffe all set?
That I don't know.
We got a couple minutes?
So he's talking to him right now.
All right, perfect.
Joseph Woll's going to play a full game tomorrow night for the Marlies.
He only played half on the road?
Yep.
And he's ready for his full
Play a
first
full game, and if he can play full games.
Okay, it's game day, which means our next guest got a lot of homework to do to get ready for Toronto and Boston. But in the meantime, let's ask him a couple of questions to tee up the game. Let's welcome in Billy Jaffe. Billy, how are you, pal?
Yeah. What's up?
What's
Kippy,
going
what's
on?
happening?
They're-
Bonnie, how you doing? I'm doing great.
They're
Just
putting us
waiting.
back together again, buddy. You know, with all that magic over the years at Sportsnet.
They can't keep us apart.
They can't.
Let's do it. What's happening?
Listen, we know you only got a few minutes here as you get ready for tonight's matchup, but just let's just talk about the Bruins for a second and seeing a place that they've been familiar with over the years, and that's the top of their division. And is there a surprise element here? Is there not? Where do you start with the Bruins on their start?
we knew it was going to be a grind fest this whole season here, Nick. When you look at the lineup, you can't sugarcoat it. You can't BS it. Like, this was a team, and Marco Sturm was very forthright about it. That, he's talked all along about not having as much skill as many other teams around them, that they were going to have to work harder, work smarter, more determined. And that's what they've done. Now, there have been ups and downs, obviously. We've seen it just about every team except for maybe Colorado and Anaheim. Everybody else has kind of been up and down a bit. Maybe even Carolina's been pretty darn consistent. But everybody else has been up and down. But this Bruins team has recently figured out much more what they need to do in their own zone, much better structure through the neutral zone, and they're becoming a little bit more of a predictable team, Nick. And I think that's been something that's been key in this stretch where they've won 6 in a row. And they're getting balanced scoring. That's the other thing. Yeah, they've got Pasternak, and yeah, Geekie has put up 11 goals. But otherwise, it's been not a high-flying offense, but Nick, it's been a productively efficient offensive team because depth has come through for them so far. Good start, no question. But I think this is what the year is going to be, partner. It's going to be a lot of this kind of grinded out. And can they make the playoffs? We'll have to wait and see. That's not a given by any stretch.
Yeah, curious, because I know before the year, a lot of people kind of felt like the Bruins were maybe trying to rebuild, but they still had this talent. They were stuck in the middle, but boy, they're rolling pretty good right now. So how much of that do you credit to coaching?
I think that there's a lot of credit you can give to Marco Sturm and his staff. Let's not look past, for instance, what Steve Spott has brought. I mean, he's made the power play breakouts and entries incredibly more efficient. They're producing. Now, granted, they really couldn't do much worse than last year, but they're doing a hell of a lot better than that, Bourne. And Spott has done a lot of good things on the power play and connected with the guys there. But I do think that, culture started with training camp. It was a very vastly different training camp, Justin, this year compared to last year. It just was disjointed last year. It didn't have a cohesiveness to it. This year it did. So Marco has a lot of respect. He's not that old, and yet he's not so young either that he's a newbie. He's had, 7 years between being an assistant and then a head in the American League. Everybody can look at his hockey resume and say he's been there, done that. So I think a lot of it can be attributed to that. But the big thing, again, is how do you guys know, how do you get through to the players? How do you sell your message? How much believability they have? And then they got to figure it out. It's taken them a while to figure out their D-zone structure. They went from a true Boston Bruins zone defense to a hybrid. We're seeing more and more teams doing where they're zone low, and then if a player rides up or carries the puck up into the offensive zone, meaning from low to high, if an opponent does, they then turn into a man-to-man up top. It's taken a while to figure that out. Some personnel has struggled with it more than others, but through coaching and video, and then I just think teamwork, they're starting to get it.
You're listening to Billy Jaffe, NHL analyst for NESN, host of The Morning Brew with Andrew Raycroft. So you mentioned disjointed last season, training camp. You got to go to Jeremy Swayman in that whole situation. Here we are a year later. How's the goaltending with Jeremy been? And Korpisalo, we know what the Leaf issue is in that. How's it looking right now in Boston?
It's been Kippy, it's been pretty good. There's always room for improvement. Boy, if that's not cliche, I don't know what is. But if you look at it, you say, all right, they both put up good numbers. I mean, Korpisalo has been a real battler this year. Now, neither of them have a goals against under 2, and neither of them have a save percentage above 9. So you're like, what is this guy talking about? It's been pretty good. Well, they've had a few clunkers. They had the Ottawa game that they got throttled, and they gave up. It was Swayman's turn and gave up goals there. They've had a handful of other 5-goal against games. So it doesn't make the stats look good. But as part of the Kippy, I'll call it the turnaround, right? They haven't, except for that Ottawa game, it's been like 7-8 games where they haven't given up 3 goals or more. Like, it's usually been 1 or 2. So it's part and parcel where this is so obvious too, but the goaltending gets better when the defensive structure gets better. You're not as chaotic in your own zone. You're not as unpredictable or giving up shots from all over. I mean, they were giving up breakaways again, an odd man's Nick all the time. So they've settled that down. So the goaltending's been better. Swayman has been better lately. There was a few games where Korpisalo played in a row and Swayman didn't when he played 2 games in a row, and everybody's like, oh, what's going on? And you're like, nothing's going on. you got a goalie in Korpisalo who just won 2 games in a row. Let it be. Swayman started 2 in a row, then Korpi won again, and now it's Jeremy Swayman going 2 in a row. With the condensed schedule, there's obviously a need for every team out there to have 2 legitimate goaltenders. You may have a number 1, but your number 2 in the condensed schedule season has to – I got to imagine that you got to figure you need 30 to 35 games from your backup, legit games from your backup.
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. Hey, you're on in the Leafs hour right here, Billy, so I got to ask you, how's Fraser Minton been for the Boston Bruins this year?
Oh, do you really want to go there? No, he's been awesome. Seriously, the kid is and I'm not saying that to be a jerk. He just has been. The kid is, first of all, he's mature beyond his years. It's impressive with how, not just hockey-wise, but just how he carries himself in the room, Bourne. He's really a nice kid, personal, a pro. So that's the thing. He has pro written all over him. And I don't need to tell you guys, you saw him. Zadorov talked about it the other day about how impressed he is with his stick. And you're like, some people might say, well, what's the big deal there? Oh, no, stick position is paramount. And it's always towards the puck. It's always anticipating the passing lane. He's always ready. It's literally a matter of inches that make a difference in the NHL. And he's done a good job of that, being in the right spot. He's stronger than he might look. He's not this beast, but he's got a robustness to him, a stout kind of skating style and an ability to be in the play that have made a difference. I mean, he has fit in beautifully. He is one of the guys. He is a legit third-line center. I don't know, is his upside more than a 2? Well, I don't know, but, he might slot eventually just as a great 3C who plays 17 minutes a game because he plays a lot of even strength in matchups. He kills penalties regularly. I mean, he's one of the top defensive forwards for them already. And then he'll play some power play in the next few years as he gets older. So he could be a 17, 18-minute game guy when it's all said and done. He's been that good, Justin.
So what is left if Minton ends up being a third line, great third line second? What's the look of the Bruins short and long term up the middle of the ice? Because there's no Bergeron, there's no Krejci. I mean, those days are long gone here. So, it's amazing. Pasternak still looks like that superstar even without Marshy. But what's it look like for 1-2 up the ice?
Well, it's still the number 1 is up in the air. They have this kid, James Hagens, that they drafted number 1 last year in the 7th spot out of Boston College. Where is he going to be at? I mean, he'll play NHL games at the end of this season, but is he ready for a full NHL season after that? Rhetorically asking, I'm not sure yet. He's not a big guy. He's very crafty, shifty, but I'm not sure. So there's the 1C slot is still open. Elias Lindholm is out with a knee injury right now, but when he's back in, he's a 2 for sure. Where does he and Frazier, does Elias and Frazier toggle back and forth, or do they have kind of a mishmash, Nick, of a few lines, top lines? Those could be 2 of your 3 centers. Then Hagens eventually could be. Who knows? Hopefully, if you're a Bruins fan, he can jump up there. But they still have a lot of depth, especially, they need depth everywhere, quite honestly. But everything is up front, they need, more depth, high-scoring depth. And they've got 4 first-round picks the next 2 years. So whether they use it to draft 4 players or make some deals, because all the top free agents are basically gone, the offensive guys that I think every team was hoping for. That's where you got to make now is deals come trade deadline or at the draft. That's what they need. They need a lot more offensive depth. They're getting good production from certain guys, but they need more because offense dries up. It does. So you need to get as much offensive guys as you can.
Billy, have a great call tonight. We really appreciate you stopping by on our show.
All right, gents. Great to talk. We'll do it for longer next time. Okay?
Thanks, Billy.
Talk to you later.
It's Billy Jaffe from NESN. Boston, Toronto tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned Patrice Bergeron. The Leafs traded them new Patrice Bergeron for a first-round pick and Carlo. Oh, sorry, no, they gave up a first-round pick.
So far ahead of yourself.
Yeah, that's getting a lot of play right now.
I'm telling you right now, it's going to be in the Rask conversation. It's going to be in the Seguin conversation. It's going to be one of the worst all time. I feel it already.
Minton, eh?
I feel it already. Oh, yeah. Character, young guy, goes there, turns into one of the better two-way. Like, I can just feel it. I feel it.
At the time,
the
time,
I know these things. I've been living through this my whole life. I know what happens.
You may be right, you may be wrong, but
I'm right.
at the time, the problem wasn't so much giving up Minton, but the problem was that you only had two that people were really asking for. It was Cowan and Minton, and after that, it was just dropped significantly.
Mm.
And Carlo at the time did make some sense to the Leafs.
Well,
it did.
A big part
right
of what,
shot, D, which were incredibly hard. They went after Rasmus Anderson. They couldn't get him. And Carlo at the time, 28 years old maybe, he's young. Boston ate a lot of his contract
that
up.
always gets lost in the whole thing is people talk about the names and they forget that it's like, oh, they had to retain millions of dollars for it to work for the Leafs.
Yeah, and they're not getting
Morgan. Everybody was crying that Morgan had nobody to play with. That was the guy that was going to come in and help Morgan.
Listen, I liked it at the time, but now with the benefit of looking at it, I hate it. So that's that. Like,
He's got to find that level that was worthy of a first-round pick in Minton.
But maybe he never was worth that.
This guy has shown that he's capable of defending top competition. I don't know what's going on right now.
20 minutes.
Yeah, and I don't think he's in age decline at 28 as a D-man. But I do think that people play good and play bad and go through stretches, whatever, and a lot of pressure on him now to sort this out, right? Like, they need him to matter.
Like, I think I've mentioned this to you before in the show. I'll mention it again. His style of play is so not exciting for what you traded a top prospect and a first-round pick for, that you're always going to be measuring it against what you traded for it, and you're never going to be like, what a play. Like, it's never like a flash. So you're never going to be like, what a zone entry denial that was. What a great long stick.
You would have loved to come in here after a playoff round and go, boy, that guy got nothing against Carlo.
Would love that.
You know?
Would love that.
Yeah.
Did that happen?
No.
Okay.
Still time.
Stolars.
So
Bounce back game tonight.
Yeah.
Hope so.
Do we have Ruby on Stolars quickly?
Let's do it. Clip 6, please, Derek.
Let's do Wall after 2.
I think Anthony's game goes a lot has to do with our game too. I think that there's games this year where he's been solid, but we're giving up chances that we did not give up last year. To me, is a big difference.
How seriously?
We have to tighten that up, and we have to, give up the shots from certain areas of the ice. Our goalies will have more success.
So you circled the Chicago game on Saturday as a potential Joseph Wall start, and it seems like that's pretty much bang on, right? Because if he starts tomorrow night, and where are they tomorrow? Grand Rapids, potentially?
It's done. He's done it. It's like with the Marlies. One more and get your ass in there.
And then they play Thursday against the Kings, and then their next game is Saturday night against Chicago in Chicago. Joseph Wall started that game.
Yeah. Which that'll be like November 18th. And I want to say mid-October. We called a Wall return on November 21st, I think we said.
Yeah.
So way to go, us.
It's almost like Kyper knew something.
This is good.
No. What do you laugh at?
Because you do this thing where you pretend you don't know stuff and then you nail it. And then you're like, oh, what a surprise.
It's good to kind of not tip
I
your
heard some
hand,
things.
Sammy.
You're just telling me what you've heard, not telling me what you know.
Our thanks to Billy Jaffe from NESN. Not a must-win for the Leafs,
Can't lose.
but can't lose.
That's good.
That's Sammy's motto tonight. We go national next. Steve Valiquette on his Tuesday. Plenty more still on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. Do not, I repeat, do not go away. Freedom was never free. It was paid with bravery and sacrifice. On this Remembrance Day, we welcome you in to Real Kyper and Bourne National Edition. We're live on Sportsnet 360, Sportsnet 960 in Calgary, Vancouver, Sportsnet Plus, Spotify, Apple, and YouTube.
We are ubiquitous. We're everywhere.
In a few minutes, we'll welcome in Steve Valiquette, who covers us well on Tuesdays, analyst with the New York Rangers on MSG, CEO ClearSight Analytics. This hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. All right, I took in the Hockey Hall of Fame. You guys
we haven't talked about that.
watched a little Edmonton Oilers last night.
I watched some of the speeches. I watched some Chara and some Keith. How was that?
Well, I'm in the cheap seats, right?
Yeah.
And it's loud in there.
Oh, is it?
So
What's loud?
Oh,
People
the
just
crowd.
chatting?
Yeah, have you ever done a Hockey Hall of Fame?
I
So
not sat there for the speeches.
The ceremony's upstairs with really important people.
Well, they kept panning to the crowd, and I was like, "Give me a Kippy face."
And no,
I had my camera
No.
out ready to get a picture.
And then really unimportant people are downstairs, eating.
Yeah, eating the pigs in a blanket that come around.
Yeah, but we know everybody got had a great time, and the speeches were great, and I will get through all of them over the next few days.
I don't think that's true.
Okay, did my nose grow on that one?
Jumbo.
I think that might have been dishonest.
It's
Sorry.
Listen,
Sorry, Jumbo.
Dumbo is
I know,
crazy.
I know. I felt bad for the commissioner.
I mean, come on.
Did a whoopsie.
Sorry, Jumbo.
It's fine. It happens.
All right.
What?
I get called Jason 3/4 of the time.
Listen,
I know it's not Dumbo,
I'm
but
not going to
it's-
bury our good friend Gary Bettman, okay? Because he's a
Jason
great friend.
or Justin,
Yes,
whatever his name
he's
is.
come on the show.
He's a wonderful friend of the show,
Yes.
but it is the guy's Hall of Fame night. And you call him Dumbo.
It's a pretty, as fumbles go, it's a pretty big fumble.
Gary Batman.
Could have been like mistyped in the prompter.
No.
No?
Okay. Yeah,
All right.
sorry.
I'm trying to help out
Yeah.
here. I'm trying to help out.
Sorry.
In the meantime,
Jumbo.
Oh,
we just spent a Leaf Hour edition of our show almost calling tonight's game against the Boston Bruins for the Leafs a must-win.
Sammy called it a can't lose at the end.
I
which
can't
liked.
lose.
It's not a must-win, but it's
What
a
was
can't
last
lose.
night for the Oilers?
can't lose.
I think so, too.
And they came really, really close to losing in regulation.
Jake Wallman pass at 57 seconds left in the game was redirected in the Columbus net. But
What a bounce.
McDavid did
Is that-
everything he could to
Is
get
that a
them in
hockey
that spot.
gods bounce?
I mean, I don't know. Do
Did
they really
you
deserve the
work-
hockey gods at this point? They've given
Buddy.
100 first overall picks. They have the best player in the world. Like, they don't deserve the hockey gods
This-
anymore.
This
Like, enough.
was this is like stats you're going to hear from this moment on. It's like since the Wallman play, it's going to be like the Oilers are 13-1 since Wallman, shot one in the net with under a minute left.
God,
they won an OT.
You're so right.
This is like things started to go their way when
They
moment.
do. I think I saw it. I forget where I saw. Maybe Oilers Nation or somewhere. I saw they're heading out on an Eastern road trip here now.
Mhm.
The Oilers, and they've really struggled on the Eastern road trip in the last few years.
Yeah.
Where they've gone like 1-5 and they went like 1-4-1 last year, and like there's been ones where they've really struggled. So having that big win at home, kind of heading out the road with some momentum is good for them. But it's a tough trip. They got to go to Florida. They got to go to Carolina. They got to do all of them. So
Buddy
we'll
McDavid
see.
shaved the beard. He scored 2 goals. It's all coming around.
who was the guy on the Spinorama? I saw the high.
Matt Tkachuk.
Oh my God.
Buddy, he's 6 feet. He screwed himself in the ground 6 feet.
He turned his ankles into powder.
But like, what are you supposed to do?
I
That's one of the
don't
most
know.
devastating spin moves you could ever imagine.
Oh, that's
Well, not
that's,
that.
Hey,
though.
What do you mean? Well, I mean,
it's Michael Jordan. Like,
yeah,
No,
you got
it's-
put in a poster.
I feel like the guy was going down before the spin move happened. Maybe he just felt it happening and everything just
I don't know.
imploded from his knees down.
It really was like a Jamal Crawford crossover where the whole like bench goes, ah!
I know. That's all. Yeah, that's hockey's version of getting
Yeah.
posterized.
Tough.
Yeah.
Tough, but good for the Oilers. It's nice that we can.
Good for them.
Oh yeah, great. Maybe you can start winning some games. So we can stop talking about your stupid slow starts and are they going to overcome it? Oh, every year we got to do
so
this.
it's not
Sick of it.
it's
man.
not McDavid and Draisaitl sparked the Oilers to a much needed win. It's McDavid.
Oh, you're right. He just caught a shoe. I don't think it was a spin. He just fell.
Think
He just fell.
Well, he fell after he knew he was in trouble.
He was doing seat cuts like it was house
Are
league
you
on the
kidding
way
me?
back
That guy,
there, though.
you see McDavid coming at you 1,000 miles an hour.
That's what it is. It's intimidation.
That's what it is. It wasn't a rut. It was a rut in your head.
I think it might be time to grow the beard back, Connor.
Yeah.
Grow the
No,
beard
he's,
back.
he's definitely a beard back. He's you.
So I was saying,
I look like my mom without my beard, so I've never shaved.
so the headline is it isn't McDavid and Draisaitl. It's McDavid and Frederick lead. It sparked the Oilers.
That's right.
All right, as promised on a Tuesday, let's welcome in Steve Valiquette, analyst with the Rangers, MSG, CEO, ClearSight Analytics. See, that's what happens.
That is beautiful.
That's what happens when the Rangers have a convincing win at Madison Square Garden.
I got to get one of those in the Leafs.
Valley, how are you, bud?
Put a Ranger hoodie on.
Hey, easy night last night for you, eh? Easy.
Yeah, it was.
You didn't
It
have to
was.
question anybody.
I'll tell you what. My one takeaway after that game was Nashville has to make immediate changes. They were ruby red rotten. So,
They should be relegated.
and you know what? This would be a good move for Toronto. Start calling on Saros. That would be a good move for Toronto.
What happened? You love Stolars.
I love him. I love him at 40 games, not 60.
Ooh. Wow.
Sammy over here is up in arms. What about Joseph Wall?
You think it's inevitable that some of these signings that Barry Trotz made are going to leave, including Steven Stamkos?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a mass exodus that starts within a month. They're at the bottom of every analytic that has any value, that carries any water. You know, today I spent a lot of my day, because you get into the 250 game mark, teams are asking, what are we failing at? Where are our problem areas? And if you have too many of those markers, you don't make the playoffs. And there are 8 of them that we use that last year, the 16 teams that qualified for the playoffs, at most, they had 1 where they were in the bottom 5. And if you have 2 or more, you do not make the playoffs. And Nashville has 6.
So what are some of them that stand out to you of the 6?
So rush defense is the biggest one. I've brought that up a lot here over the years. You need to be in the top 5 to win a cup. The last 8 cup winners were rush defense, danger against. They knew how to limit those the best. You can survive without a power play in the playoffs, but you can't survive without a penalty kill. You can survive in the playoffs without a great offensive rush, but you can't survive a bad defensive rush against. And when you're looking at what teams are successful, you're really looking at offense that comes from unsettled areas, forecheck, giveaways, takeaways, because that's when the big prime chances reveal themselves. And of course, possession time that comes off of cycle or east to west in the O-zone. So there's 8 markers there. I could walk you guys through it further, but it's more of a in-person exercise than a podcast. Yeah. But, you know, it does help to have these things to look at now, because you could say to yourself, all right, is San Jose legit? Is Anaheim really legit? Or who's coming out in the East right now that should come in? And I could, you know, I have this written down over here somewhere. I had Pittsburgh coming out, Philadelphia coming out. I have, well, one more second. I have Boston coming out. I have Rangers actually getting in, Washington and Florida in the East today. And a lot of that is, you know, you're looking at the best team in the NHL, guys. It's a pretty easy one right now. It's Colorado by a long shot. They're not just top 5 in all those markers. They're 1 or 2.
Jeez.
And the bad teams do reveal themselves. Like the worst offensive team is Seattle. They're bottom in 4 of the key offensive categories that you need to make the playoffs. So kind of a fun exercise, but it did show me last year that, you know, you can't survive with too many bottom 5 red cell markers. That's what it shows up on my screen.
It's funny because, as you said, these are the teams that are, you know, could come in the East. you didn't say Toronto, and Sam McKee went, did you say Toronto?
Just a big
As
groan.
of today, Toronto's out, Sammy. I've got Toronto is a key marker here. Expected goals against 5-on-5 on the rush. They're 28th. And the PK, high danger and expected against, is 31st. So those are two very important markers defensively that they're really
Valley,
leaking.
I mean, something like that, we'll use Toronto as an example, but the ability to change a system if you're a coach or, squeeze more out of them, what are the odds 15, 20 games in that you can turn 28 into 15 or 12 by the end of the year?
Well, I could tell you that this year with the Rangers, this is the best defensive team I've seen them ice in 10 years. And
Crazy.
they were the worst version of themselves last year defensively. And you can do it. You can focus on it. What I've noticed in the last 10 years that's been very wild is how before a team won, they failed miserably at rush defensive assignments against. And we saw it in consecutive Stanley Cups from Tampa Bay to Colorado to Vegas to Florida. They went from mid-teens to top 5 in rush against. Rush against is really important because it's so difficult for your goaltender. And there's an ability to lose the net. Most of those rush high danger chances are either breakaways or odd mans. And that to me is the defining characteristic of a Stanley Cup winning team. It's a great team that gets through the regular season and then finally buys into defending off the rush against.
Yeah, that's such a crucial part. Bail out the goaltenders. Last night, Edmonton Oilers get a win in overtime. Stu Skinner made a big save in overtime off a rush, and they went the other way and scored a goal. And my thought wasn't like, hey, Stu Skinner is going to figure this thing out. It was, boy, they look good when they get a big save at a big time. You mentioned UC Saros. Do you expect that the Oilers will at some point make a change in their net?
I don't know if you guys saw Connor Ingram so far. I think he's an .848 save percentage. And he's allowed 5 goals or more in his last 3, including a pull. So I don't think it's going well for him in the American League.
Okay.
I do see them doing something, Bourne. Yeah. Last night's game I thought was pretty wild and indicative of what we're seeing in the NHL with goal scoring. And I'll tell you, you guys, you watched the Columbus Blue Jackets. Last year, they led the league in 5-on-5 scoring. So when I was doing summer research projects, I didn't love the fact that it wasn't the best example to show the client teams that I work with how to score at 5-on-5. I want to see Colorado at the top of that list, or Vegas, or Winnipeg, or Florida, of course. But it was Columbus. And last night, they did some wild things. The Fabro pass backdoor to Boone Jenner.
Yeah.
Like, he should have shot that puck. He was on top of Stu Skinner, and 10 times out of 10, back in your day, Kyper, or your day,
just
Bourne,
get it to the net. Get it to the net.
Right? Like, you're supposed to shoot that. There's like an agreement there between the goalie and the shooter. It's just you and I.
It's dishonest to pass
try and
that.
beat me, right? Yeah. Don't pass that. And then there was another one too. There was Kent Johnson. He's coming into the slot. Should probably fire for a corner. He puts a 75% shot on the goalie's pad. So pass off pad now is from the slot. It's not from outside the slot. So that makes it harder. There was another one as well. I wrote it down. The Marchenko. He's dead slot and he passes to Fantilli. And it's like Skinner didn't have much of a chance on those 3 goals. So it sort of drove my interest this morning as I was going over that game and covering it for our company, that like the modern offense is just killing goalies right now, guys. Save percentage, .896 this morning. And it's not really budging. Every night the goals are going in at a high rate and everybody's shooting less. The perimeter shots and the clear-sighted shots from outside the slot, the ones the goalies want, they're down 15%. The pass-off pads and as well as the pass-off rebound. There was a really good one in the Toronto-Carolina game when McMahon passed it back door to Tavares. Like I was looking at those this morning, guys. Those are up 23% this year. Passing off a rebound. Like Kipper, your ass would have been stapled to the bench if you passed off a rebound, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And it didn't work. Like, so I think it's harder than ever, guys, and it's really showing itself through. I don't even know how the goalies can answer back because it's indefensible to really defend off of a pass off of a rebound.
Is the trend, Valley, of save percentage like going to continue to spiral here? Because it's now I think 890 or 895 actually looks okay now, and a few years ago I think everybody thought no, you got to be 910, and it's just, to me, the numbers are going down.
Yeah. And you know why, Kipper, too? Because there's just more high danger chances. There's more high quality chances. And it's interesting if you ever look at even a Stanley Cup final head to head, those matchups between, let's just say, the two best goalies in the world oftentimes, or a Eastern Conference final or a Western Conference final, at the end of the series, the team that has more high danger chances wins, like 10 times out of 10. When was the last time we've seen a goalie steal a series? I can't remember when. I cannot. Because goalies in the NHL, no matter if you're a Vezina Trophy guy or if you are bottom third, you're in and around one goal every 3 high danger chances against. The difference between a great goalie and a bottom feeder is the fact the great goalie never allows bad goals. He doesn't allow the low danger goals. He is exceeding the mid danger save percentage, but his high danger save percentage is always the same as everybody else because there's physical limitations and there's technical limitations to what goalies can do on high danger scoring areas and chances like the ones I described.
Okay, let me get this straight.
Yep.
Okay, so you're telling me now in today's game, the shooters do not want to waste a shot that they don't believe that they can score. Because I'll tell you, and we cover the Leafs more than anybody, there's some first periods, Valley, where I'm like, it's 17 minutes in, they got like 3 shots on goal. And I'm like, are you kidding me? 3? But if they don't have that perfect opportunity, you're telling me they're not getting it to the net.
They're not. And I'm seeing it in our data every morning. It's like I've said this once before, but I'll repeat it because it's worth repeating. There's a recipe to winning hockey, scoring chances wise. 7 or more high danger while shooting 12 or fewer low danger. Yeah. So 12 or fewer feelers. And last night in the Nashville Ranger game, again, it was under 10 low danger shots. I'm looking at the scoreboard too, Kipper, and we're in the first period of what I thought was going to be a very intense start. And 10 minutes in, it's 3 shots each. And I'm like, well, okay. I mean, but they just don't take any bad shots. And then I went to look at, so what are we going to fall out at the end of the year? We're going to be well over about 600 more high danger shots on goal at the end of the season if we keep at the pace that we're currently at in the NHL right now. Teams are looking for offense around the net where, again, a goalie sliding over and then having good posture and positioning on a rebound save. If the puck carrier looks up and sees a goalie in a butterfly, it's like a trigger to pass instead of pound it and try and get it through them.
Yeah. No, it's fascinating how you're watching offense change in the NHL. And for us who evaluate goaltenders, just being aware that things are different when you see a save percentage of 896, the guy's not some bum. You know, it's a different league. So
may I add one last thing, Bourne?
Please do.
Watch how frequently somebody is always on the weak side post now. It's like every team sends somebody weak side post. And that's why.
Like the Matthews against Carolina goal the other day, that sort of player?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Or again, the Tavares one, or just pay attention to that. You'll see it. It's like a beacon now. And it's like there's always somebody there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough because it kind of limits goalies' abilities to come out and challenge, right? If you have to honor that and be back.
Big time. Big time.
You know, before the season, we talked about breakout candidates. You're 3 for 3. We have done Anthony Stolarz. Then we did Kevin Lankinen. This year you called Jet Greaves. Jet Greaves looks pretty darn good. We're talking about Canadian goaltenders who, you know, potential guys. And right now it feels like the 3 guys are Binnington, Logan Thompson, And is number 3 Jet Greaves?
Oh my God. You're going to drop Jet Greaves for the Canadian Olympic team.
Buddy, who else we got?
I know. You know what? It's pretty wild. So, do you want to know who is last right now in our goalie rankings?
Bennington?
Jordan Bennington. And now there's 73 goalies this year that have played at least a game in the NHL, and Bennington's 73. Montembeault is 72. Linus Ullmark is Dr. Season 2 off. He's 71.
Oh my God.
Primo's 70 and Calvin Pickard's 69. So the top goalies in the NHL right now are Connor Hellebuck and Spencer Knight, both Americans. Number 3 is Logan Thompson. Logan Thompson is not going to be denied. Hey, did you guys pick up the night that Ovi got his 900th? Spencer Carberry goes in the locker room and he's giving it, to everybody, the high fives and the pucks and everything. And he turns around and he says, LT, for Logan Thompson, LT, you set the standard. He said, statement game, because he beat Bennington.
Yeah.
And LT was going like this. He was like, oh, no.
Oh,
He was
really?
like, oh. Yeah, he was putting his hand up to his throat, like, cut it out, coach. Like, don't bring it up.
Good catch.
But that was, like, that's a thing, and I'm telling you, Logan Thompson's going to want to, I think he's going to steal this thing.
Can Jordan Bennington lose his spot? Like, is that possible? Like, Connor McDavid cannot score another goal between now and the Olympics, and we know he's going. I mean, but I know Jordan's not Connor-like, but he was Connor-like in the Four Nations.
I know. And, like, I go back to when he won the cup in 19. And to be fair, St. Louis had the best defensive team in the league that year. And it was sneaky. But those markers that I was measuring earlier this morning, go back to 19, and they had the top 4 in the most important 4 defensive metrics. So it wasn't like Jordan Bennington won it on his own back, but look, he went in there into a difficult situation and played terrific hockey. He played amazing at the Four Nations. So I know it's going to be pretty hard to say, well, we're going to look outside of Jordan Bennington, but how bad can bad be before you're worried that it doesn't show up and reveal itself as good play the way that he can? I know you can sometimes find it, and then a 2-week stretch can eliminate everything that happened earlier, but he hasn't shown any signs yet.
How bad was he before the last tournament, Valley? Like, was he close to this bad going into the Four Nations?
No, because Sammy, the previous 5 years, he was a top 3 goalie in our goalie metrics, every one of them.
Okay, then.
All righty.
Okay.
You're watching and listening to Steve Valiquette, analyst for the New York Rangers on MSG and CEO ClearSight Analytics. You mentioned Spencer Knight. So much talk about Chicago right now and Connor Bedard going to another level. But, it wasn't that long ago, Spencer Knight took a pause during his career, Valley, and spent some time in the NHL assistance program. At the time, I don't even think he made it public. He kind of just disappeared for a couple of weeks before anybody really knew. And then much later revealed the issues that he had, OCD, right? And like the odds of him to be able to come back and not only reset his career, but now show everybody he's a bona fide number 1 type of guy, at least to start the quarter of the season here. What do you see out of Spencer Knight in Chicago?
Well, so I've been on the ice with him a number of times, and I've known him since he was a kid. He's from the area, and he is one of those goalies that's a physical specimen. Mm-hmm. He hovers over the ice, and he has been dominating the game since he was 8 years old. And it's no surprise. He has all of the skills, the resources, the abilities. He's got the full package of talent. If you're going through any athlete's bag of what does it take to be successful, he just didn't have the mental peace when he finally got to the NHL. And it wasn't because he wasn't into it. It was because he cared too much. And he was very vocal and open and honest. There was a really good article that was written by the Hockey News when he came out, and he was very public about it because he wanted to get his story out there to help others. And his story was that he was OCD, he was battling OCD, and it got so intense with the pressure of the game that he was washing his hands hundreds of times a day, and he didn't know why. And it took away from his time sleeping, pregame naps. He wasn't getting through a full night's sleep, so he was suffering from sleep deprivation on top of the OCD, and he needed help. And he came out and he got it. And look, I couldn't be more proud of the guy. He's such a talent. He deserves to be one of the top goalies in the NHL. He won for the United States at World Juniors. I'm sure he's on the radar for Team USA, because if it isn't for this one, it's the next one. He's right there. But, a change of scenery was best for him, and he chose to talk about what his struggles were. And, I think that right now with the way that he's playing, Kyper, and by the way, the markers, like the 8 markers, Chicago's in right now. Chicago's in.
Wow,
they have
really?
figured, I know. And I'm watching Bedard right now. He's performing at a star level. His one-timer, that's what I really realize in today's game too, guys, is if your stars don't have one-timers, they're limited. Whether they're getting the pass or they just don't have a one-timer. And right now on the Rangers, the top 3 or 4 players don't really have one-timers. And it specifically hurts on the power play because you can't have that dot one-timer. But you put Bedard on a one-timer dot right now, the left dot, I mean, he is firing it. And it brings me back, guys, when 2009, Barry Melrose, it was the time where he was coaching the Tampa Bay Lightning, and we were in Prague that year. Tampa Bay was on the ice an hour before us every day, and it was always Stamkos and Marty St. Louis practicing their one-timer from the dot. And this was before that shot really became popular. And then I remember later on in the season seeing Stamkos again, just taking dot one-timer feeds every morning skate for 40, 50 minutes as I'm sitting up in the stands watching them practice. And, it revealed itself when he scored 67, and you see Bedard shoot that. It reminds me of watching Steve Stamkos when he was younger in 09, 10, when he was really developing his one-timer. He looks like he's on that level right now, the way that he's shooting the puck.
Wow.
Great stuff, pal. As always, you got one more before you goes into our little game. For
No, we
steaks.
need
It's
the
not
panel.
a little game, Kyper. This is a big game.
This is. Yeah, Mr. Morton called himself today to say he's thinking about the deal.
Do
Johnny.
you have anything more, boys, or do you want me to get going? Do you want me to heat up the panel?
I think we're ready for the heat. I mean, otherwise, I was just going to
Yeah.
say, hey, Dan Vladar's pretty good, but that's pretty much the only observation I had to make.
Let's grill the panel.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
All right, boys. We're going to talk clutch today. We're talking clutch.
Love it.
How do you measure clutch? It is based on score effects. So when the game is tied or your team is up by 1 or down by 1, the game is hanging in the balance. Those are the moments that matter. We're going to focus on that. So who is the clutch scorer in the NHL this year? Who has the most goals when your team is up by 1, tied, or down by 1? Here are the names: Nathan MacKinnon, Bo Horvat, Sidney Crosby, Cole Caulfield.
Geez, it sure feels.
Cole, I got Cole.
I just want to throw a curveball. I agree with you guys. It feels like him. I'm going to say Bo Horvat.
It is Cole Caulfield.
Yeah.
He has
Felt like
12. Hey, how about this? All 12 of his goals
In
have
overtime.
been no clutch. Well, yeah,
It
that's
felt like it.
which is clutch. Right on. Hey, speaking of goal scoring in the NHL, though, how about Bo Horvat's goal against the Rangers on Saturday?
Yeah.
That's another one. Jonathan Drouin was on a partial breakaway, and he passed through the Rangers D back towards his own net for a one-timer shelf. Yeah. I'm sitting there going like, how is that even possible? I've never even seen that. I've never seen that before. All right. Clutch playmaker. Okay. Same idea. Up by 1, tied, or down by 1. Who is the best clutch playmaker in the NHL? Is it Nick Suzuki, Evgeny Malkin, Sebastian Aho, or Troy Terry?
I can't believe McKinnon not in this
I'm
one.
going to take this opportunity to say Suzuki.
So, right, fellas, these are primary assists.
Yeah.
Primary assists in these game states.
Actually, no.
Okay, names one more time.
Suzuki, Malkin, Aho, Troy Terry.
Okay, I'm going to go off the board and go Malkin.
Terry's tempting, but I'm sticking Suzuki.
I'm sticking Suzuki too.
Troy Terry.
I feel like
10 of his 14 assists have been primary clutch. It's a good part of why everything's going rosy in Anaheim.
Very rosy.
Right? So clutch goalies now. And this is going to play into the Olympic conversation. Clutch goalies. Who has the best expected goals? So who has helped their team save the most goals in those moments? Is it Spencer Knight, Thatcher Demko, Connor Hellebuck, or Logan Thompson?
I'm saying Logan Thompson. Good Canadian boy.
I'm going
Do you remember the names?
yeah.
Okay.
Knight,
Demko.
Hellebuck, Demko.
All right,
No, I'll go Knight. I'll go
right.
Spencer Knight.
I think it's probably it's Knight. I'm going to say Hellebuck. Give me Hellebuck.
Spencer Knight.
I pre-called
Yeah.
a couple that I didn't have the balls to take.
That's a big one, Kipper.
Yeah.
You guys were tied coming into this show.
Oh,
It was,
man.
I got skunked.
So, but how about that, though? The three names at the top of clutch are all U.S. goalies.
Yeah.
Knight, Hellebuck, Demko.
Perfect.
Boys, I know, we're in one.
They should start Hellebuck for sure, though. Start him in the big games.
So we got a grand total.
Well, our total.
Or are we gonna get
I
it
have
next week?
written Down. No, I got it. Where is it?
I think I'm bringing up the
Boy,
rear
oh
now.
boy, oh
Yeah,
boy.
yours.
I'm sorry, boys. Lost it. I got papers on top of papers here.
You're all
man.
good, buddy.
Yeah, I apologize.
That's okay. We're going to get it next week.
so
We'll
if
get
we
an
were-
update
if we were
next week.
tied-
One tip.
Oh,
Can
go
I
ahead.
give you one tip, McKee, before you do the Bet 365?
Yeah.
All right. So this happens every year. When somebody gets really high in their expected goals as a minus, they score. Lafreniere was leading the league with the worst finishing ability, and he scored twice in the last 3 games. So he's no longer the top guy. The top guy now is Jason Robertson.
Yes.
So give me a Jason Robertson anytime goal.
This guy, this guy's key.
Valley, why don't you
Thank
just come here and just host the
Just
damn
replace
show?
Sam, will you?
Yeah, it'd be so much better without me.
Send Sam home.
Although, if we could just add him as a fourth, he'd be great on our hockey team next year. Get him in net.
Oh, yeah.
Although I don't know if you can beat our goaltender.
Yeah,
Jess
we had a
from our
good-
tournament, so never
You
mind.
guys had a good goalie?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah, she was the reason we won.
Yeah.
Valley, great stuff as
All right.
always, my friend. Thanks for doing
Go
this.
Jays, go.
All right.
Thank you very much.
See
Steve
you guys.
Valiquette, CEO ClearSight Analytics, and of course covers the New York Rangers for MSG.
Love seeing a team take a chance on a guy and having it come through like Spencer Knight. That's really cool.
I was
What
just
do you got?
looking.
I don't.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
What do you want to say?
I guess it's a chance, but
Oh, it's a chance. It's a huge
well, it's a chance because of his off ice issues,
Sure.
right? And
Lot of
what he's
pedigree.
battled. But as far as a top prospect and sure bet talent, he was as good as anybody.
Yeah,
he was
but
a
this
highly rated goalie.
How about that Askarov in San Jose? I mean, this guy ever.
Give him time, though. Give him
Okay.
time. He's just in the minors, and he's just these kids are young. These
Yeah.
goalies are young. It's not. What does Kelly Rudy constantly say? 27, 26, 28 years old before they really come into their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like Spencer Knight is top talent, and say what you will about the situation in Vegas with Carter Hart.
Yeah.
That guy was a top goalie before in Philly.
Yep.
And he's a talent too.
Mm-hmm. Game time?
Game time.
It's game time presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. It's 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. Our good friend Steve Valiquette just did my job for me on this one, but I'm taking a Jason Robertson
Yeah.
anytime goal tonight.
Absolutely.
At plus 190 against the Ottawa Senators. I mean, you got to love your chances with Linus Ullmark in net.
I think he's leading the league in high danger scoring chances, and he's not scoring. So it's,
And I think I put it in the lineup. Allmark has given up 43 goals in 13 games so far this year.
some work to
Seems
do.
like-
I think the coach
seems like a
recently
lot.
said that believes in him still. It's coming around.
They have no choice.
I would hope so. I mean,
Yeah.
what's he making?
No
$8.5
choice.
million bucks. Looking at some other games tonight, a couple good ones. Kings in LA. No, Kings in LA. The LA Kings are in
They will be
Montreal
in L- okay.
to take on the Habs.
And they're
Uh,
underdogs.
The Kings are not underdogs. They're
No, Montreal's an underdog.
They
in
are.
this game.
They're plus 100 tonight.
Top of the division
LA
at home.
Kings are minus 120. Leafs in Boston. Now, this is a spot where I don't understand the line. The Boston Bruins are plus 115 tonight. Toronto Maple Leafs minus 135 favorites in Boston. They are. Bet365 is putting our can't lose situation into this here where the Leafs need to win this game. So minus 135 for the Leafs is a pretty crazy number to me, but yeah, maybe they'll get this one tonight. And I think the best game of the night, the Anaheim Ducks in Colorado to take on the Avalanche. Ducks have had an awesome start to the year. They are still huge underdogs in this game tonight. Plus 210. The Colorado Avalanche minus 260. So you could do worse than the Anaheim Ducks at plus 210, but like Valley said in that segment there, the Colorado Avalanche are far and away the best team in the league.
They are mobbing right now.
Anyways, that was Game Time presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly.
Okay, let's take a quick break. When we return, little Brad Marchand still showing that he's got a mean set of hands last night in Vegas. Did you see that goal?
Yes.
Wow.
Why?
Absolutely.
Sign with the Leafs?
And save it, Sammy.
Sorry.
And a little bit more on the Preds, including Ryan O'Reilly, who regrets his post-game comments the other day. We'll get into that and why he regrets when we return to Real Kyper and Bourne. Welcome back to the program. As a reminder, this hour, Real Kyper and Bourne, brought to you by Bet365. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. Just before the break, we had Steve Valiquette on. I thought he was awesome as usual. But
We're lucky to have him.
Really, really lucky. And even the insights and the stories. And if you didn't catch the segment, please download it on Apple or find us on YouTube or Spotify, because he told this great story about Logan Thompson going up against Binnington, and then the video was showing the response of his coach, Spencer, acknowledging that there was a bit of a matchup between Logan and
Binnington. He took it serious.
Binnington
Like
for a
direct
Team
competition.
Canada spot.
Yeah.
And man, I thought that was really cool. Really
Yeah.
cool. Even, and you mentioned on the break when I mentioned to you, you liked Logan's response.
Well, yeah. It's like this guy is clearly aware of what's going on in this whole. He was shunned from the Four Nations face-off. He wants to beat Binnington. I think that's awesome. Get yourself on the team.
Yeah. And don't draw any attention to it.
Right,
I don't
yeah,
need
this
it.
is-
Just let my play do the talking.
Right. Well, I think you can't deny him now. I mean, unless things go
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
hell in a handbasket over the next 6 weeks.
There's been some decision making with team selections over the years with Hockey Canada that's been pretty baffling. And if they don't have a good relationship with the entire coaching staff, I could picture it.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where those guys would be putting personal relationships ahead of national, whatever you want to call it.
But if they don't believe in them, they don't believe in them.
Well, sure, and their butts to be on the line for future
sure.
use if you get
And
no goaltending
and
in
we-
the Olympics, and the guy's a 9-10 sitting right there for you.
And we all had these same conversations leading into the Four Nations face-off where Jordan Binnington was shaky in some of the early tournament games and then dialed it in the big games.
But he's last in the NHL.
I know,
statistically.
I'm just
Thompson's
saying.
top 3.
I know,
This
I'm
is
just saying.
not like, it's like a preference thing.
I'm not going to be
Leading the
surprised.
league in save percentage.
Right.
I'm not going to be surprised.
crazy.
The swing is monstrous.
Also, right at the beginning of the segment, we talked about with Valley at Nashville and what's going on there.
Did you want to play this? Because this happened on Friday when we were off, so it's kind of old
Well,
news. But
we've had a lot of post-game conversations already this early in the season, predominantly around goalies. But kind of like this one.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I sit there and go, just be quiet. Just don't give him anything. And you know me. But I kind of like this out of Ryan O'Reilly.
All right, let's play it, Derek. And
Can't make a 6-foot pass to save my life, so you're not going to have much success if, you know, I'm playing pathetic like that. So it's stupid. I don't know the answer. I've had one good year in my career, and I don't have any answers, that's for sure.
okay,
You talked about it this morning. You guys spent a lot of time.
I'm sorry. You like goalie Jack Campbell?
or player Jack Campbell.
Yeah, player. That's right.
Yeah.
Player Jack Campbell.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I've had one good year in my career, buddy.
Pathetic.
Listen,
my God.
I don't look at what he said as much as how he said it and why he said it. And that's, you guys are always telling me you want more out of players. You want being, no, hold on. Because it's not, I'm not focused on the words that he said. I don't like the way he talked about himself, and I don't suggest to any player that go up there, but that's as raw as it gets for a player. Yep. He is sharing with you his inside voice and his feelings.
Yeah.
And
I talk to myself like that most of the time.
We all do. We all do. And I'm like, it's as honest as he really feels. And that's really rare. And I know, I'm reading this Greg Wyshynski.
Greg Wyshynski
from ESPN, and he talks about how he regrets. He refers to himself as a crybaby.
So now he's doubling down on it. He's like, I had one good year in my career. I'm a crybaby. Like, oh my God.
A great follow-up.
This guy.
Sorry, which year was that?
No wonder he didn't stay in Toronto.
But we
it's
know,
like, holy smokes.
You can have that weak moment, and you can share your inside voice. But we know, and he knows, he's a hell of a hockey player. He's been a hell of a hockey player. He can still be a very good hockey player. He's a Conn Smythe winner. He's a Stanley Cup champion. He's not a crybaby, and he doesn't suck. So
good enough.
So it's
smart enough.
It's fine if he had. It's fine he had a weak moment. It's okay.
Of course it is.
You know why it's okay? Because he didn't talk about his teammates.
Because
he didn't
I'm
refer
good
to
enough.
anyone else.
I'm
He
smart
just
enough.
He just focused on himself.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Well, first off, good job by Greg Wyshynski to
People
follow
like
up on
me.
that. It's really, really great to see how he felt about it the next day.
Yeah.
You know, and Kip, I agree he didn't carve anyone but himself, but there's a level of like, I don't know.
It's like self-serving deprecation to me.
Right, where it's like, it's almost like you want, it's fishing, you know? It's like, you guys tell me I'm pretty great, right? Like,
You know, it's like,
How long has he been in the league?
long time.
15 years?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Forever.
I would imagine like
How many times?
2007
How many times?
or 8 was his first year, maybe?
How many
No.
times have we
Oh,
ever
after that.
heard him like
Oh, yeah.
this?
You're right, never.
How many?
Never.
How many times
no,
will
that's
we?
not true. Last year he had a weird one too.
Did he?
Yes, I can't remember
Not
exactly
like
what
this.
Isn't his dad
Yes, it
like
was
a
pretty bad. No,
motivational
the last one he had.
mental coach?
I mean, God,
Okay,
this
2
is-
in 15 years.
But I remember him
But
having
we
one
don't.
last year.
We were
where he
not going to
was-
remember him like this.
I'll remember.
Sam and I are both like, now we will because you said that. But yeah,
I'll remember him tapping one home to tie the game against Tampa late.
Yeah, or lifting the
Leafs.
Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
He's had a tremendous career.
it does
Very worthy
it
of
does
respect.
speak to how much they feel right now. And you can put Stamkos in there. You can put Marchessault in there. Ryan O'Reilly. Like, these guys are still paid a heck of a lot of money. And not just Valley earlier on our show, but many people sitting there going, Nashville is pathetic right now.
Old guys have trouble later in their careers driving the bus, like possession-wise and all that. Like, you can still finish and you can make the right plays and all that, but those older players not getting the job done. We done on O'Reilly?
Yeah, I said what I needed to say, I guess. I like Ryan O'Reilly.
I like him too. I wish he was a
also
Leaf.
like Ryan O'Reilly.
He was great on the Leafs.
Matt Barzal scored in overtime
I saw it.
last night.
Nice finish.
They
No Team
scored-
Canada consideration for him, eh?
Yeah,
He
you
used
don't
to
get
be.
him
He
come
used to be
up.
a guy that was like a
Well,
lost
They
kind of guy.
they're not
lost
sure if
his
he can
game.
make the bus.
Yeah. So he had
There's a schedule,
well, there's a schedule. I don't know what happened. He missed it one day
during the Olympics.
So the Isles scored with under 3 minutes to go. They got scored on with like 4 seconds left. Did you happen to see the overtime winner? Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Did you see Jesper Bratt on the back check coming back through the neutral zone?
Maybe mix in a stride.
I mean, the
Fastest guy in the
complete
league.
matador. You know what's the red whatever the heck
I think
that
there's
thing
just
is.
an acceptance now in overtime that
Cape.
it's okay. We're gonna give up a breakaway. If you score,
No,
you score.
this
If you
was
don't,
the
you.
worst.
It's just
The worst.
yeah.
I know, yeah,
But there just seems to be like even if I stop trying, it's okay.
I'm curious
3 on
to see
3.
if there's a follow up to what happened to Bratt's play there because it was complete lack of effort. Anyway, great
Sure,
play.
Sheldon wouldn't have loved that one.
Well, that's kind of was my thought. Is like I can't see him going to the room and him going, get him next time, kid. That was pretty bad. But the Islanders are kind of sneaky guys. They're
And
hanging,
another overtime game,
hanging around.
right?
Yeah,
How many have we had?
like 30%
Way-
of games in the league.
Way too many.
It's just a 3-on-3 league now.
It is.
Um,
Islanders are 8-6-2, 1 point better than the Leafs right now.
So I mentioned the Olympic thing there. I saw Pierre LeBrun put out an article today that the NHL is going to inspect the Olympic hockey arena next week.
Elliot has a follow up on that
Oh, yeah?
on Sportsnet.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
What's
but
it about? What?
About just them going to.
Will there be ice in Milan?
And I saw the picture that was like used in the article, and I just hope it's old because it's like an overview of like it has no roof.
Yeah.
So I'd hope it's old big.
Like, can they not throw bodies in this?
Like I said, send over our finest Gords and Steves, and they'll get
Yeah.
it figured out. Just send them over.
You see a whole bunch of Silvios having siestas and
No,
drinking cappuccinos.
Send over some flannel. Get the boys over there. Some Tim's cups, some flannels,
What is going on?
your finest curling cap.
Throw bodies at this thing.
Gotta get it going here.
Yeah. Get the hammers going.
Oh my
Brad
God.
Marchand going to be there?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, 100% he is.
Oh my God, what a season he's having.
Yeah, 6 goals in the last 5 games. Kind of single-handedly providing the offense while
This
here you
told
go.
you.
Whoop. But he's done that a million
Oh.
times.
Nothing
You're
I
not
love more
supposed to
than
do
a
him when you're
backhand goal.
closing in on 40.
I was actually thinking the other day, I was like, was there ever a debate if he'd ever be in the Hall of Fame or not?
Can I ask you a
'Cause
question?
of course he is.
Like, you think who's at number 6 on Vegas?
Don't be
You think-
Theodore, don't be Theodore, don't be Theodore.
You think you're gonna go? He's gonna go into the corner there?
White
White Cloud?
Cloud?
No, I don't
Yeah,
think so.
what
who's
are you
it?
protecting
Like, he's like,
against?
I'm gonna guard the outside of the net. He's like,
Yeah.
this guy who's done this filthy toe drag 100 times in his career.
Yeah.
Nasty one.
That was
Nasty
really
one. Love a backhand goal.
Rangers back on it a little bit.
Interesting to hear Valley say that they're so good defensively.
Yeah.
You know, like that was a huge complaint with them last year. And they brought in Sullivan, who is the team. I think he's the head coach of Team America, right? He's one of the best coaches in the league.
Yeah.
And they're kind of dialing it in. If they figure it out offensively, that could be a real problem.
His their underlying numbers are very good. No doubt about that. Chicago being in was my biggest shock of all
Yeah.
the Valley comments.
Yeah.
A
Bedard.
few reports, I think Drager and a couple others talking about Murray Edwards, Calgary's owner, saying not interested in trading Kadri.
But why? Why not? What's the
Because they
plan?
like tickets.
I don't know.
Ka-ching, ka-ching.
I
They have
don't
4
get.
wins in 17 games.
I don't get it.
Who's buying
And
tickets?
he's your hottest commodity.
They probably love him.
Well, I'm sure they love him, but other teams would love him too. And then you can get guys you'll love for the next 10 years.
15.
Yeah.
I don't get what the upside is in saying we're not interested in trading for him.
Unless
and
you're
just
trying to drive up the price. Also, why is Murray Edwards weighing in on potential trades?
because he wants to drive up the trade that he's wants
Okay.
to make.
Okay, if that's the case,
And-
then I'm in.
And what's Craig Conroy do? Just his paperwork?
Fine.
Hey, you go make the trade then.
Yeah. No, that is fascinating to hear that. They are currently last in the NHL and the front runner for Gavin McKenna, and some of the underlying number stuff has them worse than last. That's
Worse than last.
I mean, you know.
AHL, you get relegated.
yeah, you know what I mean. Bad.
All right. What do we got? How many games?
10.
3, 6, 10.
10 games on tap.
Wow, was that a busy night? Pick your game, enjoy it, and we're right back here tomorrow on Real Kyper and Bourne. Our thanks to Billy Jaffe in the first hour, and then, of course, Steve Valiquette. Are you on tonight? You working?
No, tomorrow, and then we're together Thursday, so not tonight, though.
All right. Catch your breath, everybody, for the next few hours.